Hello and welcome to LucasArts. I'm Daryl Rodriguez. As you guys have seen from the video, we are extremely proud of the Knights of the Old Republic franchise. It's one of the most well-loved parts of the Star Wars universe. Ever since KOTOR 2, we've wanted to return to the Old Republic era, but we wanted to do it in a different and in a bigger way. And so today, I'm pleased to announce, in partnership with BioWare, that LucasArts will bring this well-loved franchise online in a massively multiplayer world with Star Wars: The Old Republic. Yeah, here we go. Come on, a little applause. Thank you. BioWare has great familiarity with LucasArts as well as the KOTOR brand, so they were a natural choice to take on this epic project. They have recently made some new friends with Electronic Arts, and we've all been working together to bring you guys this game. LucasArts brings the IP as well as the rich Star Wars history, BioWare the storytelling expertise, and Electronic Arts the ability to deliver a game on a massive scale. So with that, I'd like to turn this over to our partners, the founders of BioWare, ladies and gentlemen, the doctors, Ray and Greg.
Thanks, Daryl. It's a great pleasure to be here. I'm Ray, this is Greg. It's a pleasure to be here representing not only BioWare but also Electronic Arts and with our friends and partners at LucasArts. It's an honor for us to represent our team from BioWare Austin today. The partnership that we announced back in October 2007 caused a little bit of speculation. There's been some rumors recently in the last few months, and some of the ideas we've considered. We thought about Howard the Duck, the MMO. We thought about that was a little too crazy, a little too far out there. Maybe we'll get back to that later. We talked about THX 1138. Thought that might be a little emotionally flat, and maybe put that aside as well. So we're very glad we can come forward today and talk about Star Wars: The Old Republic, the MMO that's set in the Knights of the Old Republic era of the Star Wars universe. So the BioWare community has been looking forward to another KOTOR game for a long time, so we're very happy to be able to provide that for them. And we're excited to be working again in the Star Wars universe. It's in a really rich period. If you're not familiar with Knights of the Old Republic, it's a dynamic period full of Jedi, Sith, and a multitude of other exciting roles you get to play. What are we building? We're building a story-based MMO. This is something pretty innovative and very different, but it's also very familiar at the same time. It's going to follow the tradition of Knights of the Old Republic and other BioWare games. It's going to be story-driven. We've been wanting to make an MMO for a long time at BioWare, probably over a decade when you add it up, and we're huge fans of the genre. We play pretty much everything else that's out there. We're big fans of all the different MMOs, and we want to make something that's going to stand with the very best of them. And we're bringing something special and unique to the table. It's very innovative. It's story-based. People ask us, why haven't we made KOTOR 3? Well, obviously, we're huge fans of the franchise, and we're looking forward to getting back in it with the Old Republic and LucasArts. But internally, what we joke is that we're making KOTOR 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and beyond. This game is that big. It's got that much content in it. And I think you'll be excited when we're able to reveal more of what we're building. The fourth pillar, the story pillar, is what BioWare's bringing to the table. So great role-playing games have four pillars. There's exploration, there's traveling around and discovering a really rich game world. But in this case, it's a whole galaxy. It's a galaxy of Star Wars. Customization, progression, creating a unique identity for yourself in the game and feeling like you watch your character grow in ways that allow you to choose how you move forward in the adventure. Combat, facing these really epic challenges, making tactical choices that make differences, make you feel like a hero or a villain. And the fourth pillar, the thing we're adding to the experience, not subtracting but adding to these other pillars of great MMOs, is story. Story underlies everything you do in the Old Republic. It's what gives meaning to your actions. The characters and your interactions with them really deliver this emotional connection. So you're going to feel immersed in this world and you don't want to leave it. It's going to take the gaming experience to a higher level. And these games, they give us the opportunity to create interactive stories. So we're very excited about that. And just imagine the potential of living through the archetypal, these magical moments from the Star Wars movies and really becoming a hero or a villain in the Star Wars universe.
So a little update on where we are so far. So to start with, it's been going great. The game's playable. We can play it here at LucasArts, play it at BioWare, play it at EA, and it's very fun. We've been focusing on the gameplay, trying to make sure we bring the greatness of Star Wars to life. Of course, today we're not going to be playing it. We're going to be talking to you about it, giving you an overview. We want to make sure the gameplay is right when we show it to you. We are going to see some stuff that you'll definitely enjoy a little later, but we have to wait for that. we're big fans of MMOs. I think Ray touched on that. We play a lot of them. Those of you that play them love the word soup, the RVR, the PvP, the PvE, all that kind of stuff. And we've got all that. We've covered the things that make MMOs great. But nothing, in addition to story that we're adding, is something that we think is going to be really important is the ability to just pick up and play this game. Not everyone that is going to play Star Wars: The Old Republic is familiar with MMOs. We want to make sure for those new Star Wars, those fans of Star Wars, the new MMO players, they have an ability to learn the game. We're going to help take them through that so that both novice and really accomplished players can enjoy themselves. One thing we're going to talk a little about today, and you'll hear from, I think James talks about it, is something called companion characters. Those of you that play BioWare games remember all the old classics like Minsk and Rex and all those great characters. We're doing the same thing in this game. And if you think a little about it, the Star Wars movies themselves have a similar dynamic. What would Han be without Chewbacca? What would Luke be without R2? This is something that we're bringing to this game, and it really the way we described the way companion characters work many times, it's the same in this. They are the lens through which you see the world. They also reflect your actions back at you. Some of the neat things you're going to be able to do include the ability to support your companions. They're going to have their own stories. They're going to have their own quests that you can help them on. But you're also, if you really choose to, not help them, actually manipulate them and change them if you're, say, on the dark side, for example. It'd be a very exciting dynamic. So as you might be familiar with, BioWare tends to make big games. We've made some large ones in the past. The Baldur's Gate 2 was fairly large. That is completely dwarfed by this product. James and Jeff are going to talk to you a little bit about how we're actually developing the content, and it really is a mammoth undertaking. And like Ray said, and I have to repeat, is we think this game is really going to deliver on that Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic experience, but also the Star Wars fans and the BioWare fans. And whether any of those things, the emotional attachment and the engagement you're going to feel, this game is going to speak to you.
In summary, what we're building is we're going to allow you to experience the great moments from Star Wars for all the fans. And it's an experience that's going to really resonate with the soul of the Star Wars saga. We're going to deliver a high-quality, immersive experience, and it's going to be emotionally gripping. We're going to make you feel something really powerful when you play it. I'm very proud of the hardworking team we have at BioWare, also great partners at LucasArts. And all the people working on this project, the Old Republic, are hardworking, they're smart, they're creative, they're passionate. And the next person I'm going to introduce is one of those people, someone I've worked with for many years at BioWare. He's James Olin. He's BioWare Austin's creative director, and he's also the lead designer on Star Wars: The Old Republic. He was the lead designer on Knights of the Old Republic as well, and he was the lead designer on Baldur's Gate. I had the pleasure of starting to work with him back in 1996 when we started that project out. And Neverwinter Nights and Baldur's Gate 2. And he's a great guy, so he's going to walk you through some of the high-level design for the Old Republic. So welcome, James Olin.
Thanks, Ray. So, Knights of the Old Republic was definitely the coolest game of my career. But I have to say that Star Wars: The Old Republic is even more exciting and definitely more challenging. In fact, I'd probably say it's the most compelling and challenging project I've ever worked on, ever. And I think that's because we're bringing story to the online space. Star Wars: The Old Republic is the first truly story-driven MMO, and that makes it very special. So Star Wars: The Old Republic takes place 3,500 years before the movies. That gives us a lot of freedom, much like in Knights of the Old Republic. It allows us to create interesting characters and exotic locations that Star Wars fans have never seen before. But more importantly, it allows players to carve out their own epic stories. And that's important in the Star Wars universe. It's all about the epic stories. So for fans of Knights of the Old Republic, a little bit of context about our game. The Old Republic takes place 300 years after the end of KOTOR 1 and 2. And a new Sith Empire has emerged from deep space, and it's gone to war against the Republic. Now, I'm not going to go into too much detail right now, because you're going to get a lot of press materials after this meeting that's going to describe the setting in a lot of detail. I think you'll find it very cool and interesting. So another important thing about our game, another important feature, is player choice. You get to choose many things in the game. You get to choose your faction, your class, you have to choose between good and evil, how your story unfolds. The first thing I mentioned, faction, we're going to have the Galactic Republic and the Sith Empire. You have to choose whether you want to serve the Empire or the Republic. Within those two factions, you have multiple classes. You have to choose one of those classes. Each of the